your date of birth, comma, address, comma.
And we are live. Your date of birth.
Sorry. I'm texting a new client. You know, the show. You know, they say that the show never stops, and the show must go on. But so must my law practice. You know, we just got a call a few minutes ago from an individual. His son was in a terrible car accident last night, and I'm trying to set up everything that needs to be set up to contact the insurance company. So I just sent him a text message. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we are practicing attorneys. You know, we do this show, we call it Cruising with the Case Handler, but at the same time, we have responsibilities to our clients. Our clients are counting on us to get it right for them. Their families are counting on us to get it right for them. So good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Adam Handler. Of course, you know who I am, the most celebrated attorney on this radio station. When it comes to personal injury, I am your boy, the case handler, the shark, the beast, the hot stepper. And we do this show every morning, 9:30 on the dot, or usually on the dot, just to let everybody out there know who we are and what we do. And who are we? We are Pollack, Isaac DeSico. And what do? We're attorneys. We're a full service law firm here in Manhattan. I'm the partner of the personal injury practice. Conrad, the maestro Pollack, the managing partner of the firm, is partner of the immigration practice. We got Annakie, the general, who is associated with the firm and has been the most experienced immigration attorney ever to grace these airwaves, right? That is a fact. 93.5 FM listeners, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Those of you watching on Facebook Live or later on Instagram, hey, thanks again too. And if you can check us out on Facebook, check us out on Instagram, you'll be connected to our practice. You'll really see with your own eyes exactly what we do, how we change lives. Personal injury, how do I change lives? I get you the most money possible if, God forbid, disaster strikes and you're in that unexpected accident. How do we change lives with respect to immigration? Well, we legalize your status here in the United States. Maybe you have a deportation issue. Maybe you need to file for an adjustment. Maybe you need to extend a visa. Maybe you need to get your green card through a marriage, through a marriage-based application. Or maybe finally, after all these years, you want to pull the trigger and become a citizen of this country. That's what we do. We're here to help. Conrad, did I get it right as far as the immigration stuff? You know, I'm not the guru, but I feel like I kind of know what we do.
Really, it's like I'm listening to you. It's like I want to sign up.
All right.
You guys are unbelievable. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Cruising with a Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. Adam Handler, he said it all. And of course, we're here each and every single day speaking on just that. If you're out there, guess what? Something is ending. Do you know what that is, Adam? Do you know what that is, Conrad? Do you know what that is, Alan? Something is ending.
Well, a couple of things are ending. This miserable 2020 calendar year is ending in a week. So that's the major topic. I mean, we're finally getting out of 2020 and going into 2021, and things are only going to get better, right? Only going to get better.
That's true.
But on top of that, along with the calendar changing into 2021, so will our firm's policy of free consultations be ending. I'll let you give the details, Squeeze.
That's all. Yep. I was thinking of one more thing. Squeeze.
Yeah, I was thinking one more thing too.
The Orange Man.
Exactly.
Well, exactly. No, not yet. He's still here. He's going to be here until January 20th.
Oh, he's never going away, but
he's never going away. Well, yeah.
He can't hurt us for a while.
But he's still president for another 25 days or whatever, and I mean, now he's huddling with whoever will listen to stage a military coup, right? That's the next step. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Well, he's got his own. He can create his own little army, based on the 100 people or so that he's pardoned in the last couple of weeks.
Unbelievable.
Terrible.
Sometimes I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. I'm like, is this really happening? But anyway, I don't want to even get you started with that, to have Adam tell us to stop, So let's not even go down that road. Ladies and gentlemen, it is truly ending. The immigration consultations, which are free currently, they are ending. And I would say to anyone that's listening, watching us right now, If you would like to speak with one of the attorneys for free, it is extremely important that you call them before December 31st. As a matter of fact, it's the holiday season. And just like, going off a tangent here, I spoke to quite a few people about the P visas and the O visas, Conrad. And everybody wants to do this after the holidays on the show, quite a few people. So we'll get to that. We'll talk about what those are in a few. But the immigration consultations, they are ending, the free ones rather, they're ending. So if you'd like to speak with an attorney at the law offices of Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico for free, now is the time to call them. Get it in there. I know the holidays are on our mind and we're going through it, but it doesn't hurt to pick up the phone and call them and ask them your immigration questions. The number right now, what's today's date, Alan?
Today's date.
I don't want
December 23rd.
Okay, I don't want people. Did you just look to see what the date is?
December 23rd.
Okay, all right. So this is not a tape. This is real. Free immigration consultations at PPID is ending. Call them now. Everyone, call before the top of the hour. All right. At least give them your name and say, hey, I can't speak to you now. Set up, schedule that consultation with an immigration attorney at PPID. 844-774-3529. Slowly. 844-774-3529. 844 PPID Law. They have 3 offices. 225 Broadway on the 3rd floor in New York City. Never have to go above the 3rd floor. That's one. They've got one in Peekskill and they've got one in Brooklyn. I do believe the New York office and the Peekskill office is currently open. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the Brooklyn office is soon to be announced somewhere in 2021. Am I correct?
Yes, I'm sorry, Squeeze. Our headquarters in New York City is always open, of course. And Peekskill, yes, the Peekskill office is open and thriving as usual. Brooklyn, we haven't reopened yet. We've had some technical difficulties, so we haven't been able to open yet, but we are optimistic about that happening early in 2021. And also, yes, today is December 23rd, Alan. I should have, I meant to remind you of that before the show began. My apologies.
Yep, I got it down.
Just kidding. I like to tease Alan about things like that. And, like, who was it again? Alan, you voted for, was it Truman or Dewey?
No, Hoover, you said. Herbert Hoover.
Anyway, but on a serious note, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, that fabled law firm, has a segment on TV this evening. We've been talking about a client of ours who's unfortunately been detained by immigration now for some time, and the story was picked up by Newsday a couple of weeks ago, and from there it was picked up by WPIX. And the reporter from WPIX recently interviewed members of my firm and our clients, the family, and the program will air this afternoon, late afternoon, early evening at 5 o'clock on WPIX, Channel 11 in New York City. It's, I suggest as many people tune in as possible, and just it's eye-opening to hear and see what has happened based on just what the Immigration Service has done to this poor guy, and the ramifications on his family that just fallen on his family. It's incredible. I mean, I was listening to the interview the other night. We were being interviewed by this reporter with the family, with the lead attorney on the case, and just I was just sitting there listening to the family, my mouth open. I just still can't get over.
No human being should have to go through that. No family.
It's an incredible story. It's not over yet. We're moving towards a successful resolution. The father and the family is from India. He's been in the country for nearly 30 years. He was picked up in the middle of the night at his house by ICE and dragged off to jail. They sent him down to Louisiana, which is where he's been detained now for, I don't know, 2 months or so. He has U.S. citizen wife here. He has 3 U.S. citizen children, one of them seriously ill. He's the sole breadwinner in the family. And the only thing that this person did wrong, the father, was that he entered the country illegally back in 1993. Since then, he has been working, paying his taxes, has had no criminal issues whatsoever. He's married, as I said. His wife is filing for him to get a green card, for which he's eligible otherwise. As I said, he has his entire family is here. And one of his children, who's 8 years old, is seriously ill, requires full-time care by her mom. It's heart-wrenching watching what this family is going through, what the services put them through, and for why, you might ask, this person was ordered deported a long time ago. Why didn't he leave? I mean, it's I can't even begin to tell you how heart-wrenching this situation is, and it's for the government, which, by the way, the government hasn't even put in a response. The reporter has been trying to get a hold of a spokesman for USCIS or ICE to give their side of the story. They haven't even responded because there's nothing to say. They don't have a reason. This is strictly a numbers game. The Trump administration is trying to deport as many people as they can, as quickly as they can before they're out of power, and that's what this is. There is no other reason for it. There is absolutely no reason for this person to be in jail. As I said, he's eligible to get his green card, and the case is being held up deliberately so they can get him out of here. It's just, it's horrible. It's a horrible story. And again, it's going to be on WPIX, Channel 11, New York City, 5 o'clock, on the 5 o'clock program this afternoon. And we're going to have a clip, Adam, right? We'll have a clip to show tomorrow's show. Have
a link, hopefully, of the whole interview. We can put it up on our website, of course, social media. We'll email it out, and we can also show it on this show, right, Squeeze? We can play that clip.
Absolutely.
Show, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Very good. Very exciting. If we don't mind, let's just go do a little personal injury, because I got to jump off. I have a 10 o'clock conference with the judge that I got to make sure my client's prepared for. So just a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is Adam Handler. I am your case handler. We are Pollack, Isaac DeSico. We will make it official right now. I'm down with PPID. The maestro's down with PPID. The general's down with PPID. Squeeze.
I'm down with PPID. You know me.
You need to shout that from the balcony of your presidential suite.
Yeah.
Like
yell it out the window. Yell it out the window there, so all the seagulls can hear you.
Good morning, my neighbors. I am down with PPID.
Conrad, if you see my neighbors, believe me, Anyway, I'm quite sure Adam has seen my neighbors.
Yesterday was Testimonial Tuesday. I'm hearing a little feedback. I'm not sure if that's Alan's computer or whose computer, but yesterday was Testimonial Tuesday. What is Testimonial Tuesday? Well, it's an opportunity for you, ladies and gentlemen, to not take my word for it, to not take Squeeze's word for it, to not take all the other DJs on this radio station's word for it who have endorsed me for so many years. Take the word of those who unfortunately came before you, that never expected to get into that accident, that woke up in the morning, got in their car, maybe arrived safely to work, walked onto that construction site and got hurt on the job. Or maybe the people that never made it to that construction site because they were in an accident, rear-ended at a red light, or somebody ran a stop sign, or maybe they were walking to their job somewhere in the city and they were a pedestrian and somebody disregarded the fact that you had the walk sign and hit you. I mean, there's a million different ways, to get injured, of course, and we've handled all those kind of cases throughout the years, but we like to feature those true life success stories, people that have had disaster strike and then, called our firm. They had lots of choices, right? We always say, there's good lawyers out there, but you got one chance to get it right. There are no redos. And that's why we say one chance, one choice of lawyer, and I am your case handler. We are Pollack, Isaac DeSico. And real quick, let's just share Carrie's story. It was a $300,000 settlement. You can see the date, 12/22/20. We're all smiling under those masks. But we did some incredible work for this gentleman. He was in an accident. He was rear-ended while driving in Connecticut. So the accident was in Connecticut. He lived in New York, and the defendant, the guy that hit him, lived in New Jersey. So we had two choices. We could bring the case in Connecticut or bring the case in New Jersey. I'm not licensed in Connecticut. I am licensed in New Jersey. In fact, born and raised, baby, still live here. We brought it in New Jersey. and $300,000 settlement. Squeeze, if you could just read that quote. I know we featured this yesterday, but some of you may not have been tuning in. Can you just read that quote for me, Squeeze?
Absolutely. It says here on this true success story on the website, thecasehandler.com, my case was handled very well. My coworker told me about the case handler team, and now I'll be telling everyone about them too. Carrie from Brooklyn, $300,000 in settlement. Unbelievable. And this happened on September the 11th, 2018.
Yes, it did. And you can see, ladies and gentlemen, those of you on social media right now watching, you can see photographs of Carrie's vehicle. I mean, the whole back end of his van was crushed in. And then he was forced into a guardrail, and you can see the damage to the front of the vehicle. So a very, very serious accident. Obviously never expected that this would happen. And we took very, very good care of him. Of course, $300,000 tax-free, but that's what we do, Squeeze. I mean, you know better than almost anybody, you know, what we do here at Pollack, Isaac DeSico with respect to personal injury, what we do here at Pollack, Isaac DeSico with respect to immigration. We are exceptional lawyers. We can't say we're the best, right? That's the magic word that they don't let us use, but I'm going to say we are exceptional lawyers. And of course, practicing attorneys. You saw me in the beginning of this show, you know, dictating a text to one of my clients that just called us this morning. Yep. They got into an accident. We are the attorneys that are working on your case. You know, you can see Conrad, the maestro on his phone right now. He's doing work. Alan, when he's not, you know, giving us that amazing immigration updates, you know, he's doing his work. I'm doing my work. Nelson's doing his work. We are your lawyers. We're not just here advertising our firm. We're here to practice law. We go to court. We wear a suit. We meet with clients. We prepare the paperwork. We are attorneys. We're not just in show business. We are Pollack, Isaac DeSico. My name is Adam Handler. I am your case handler. We thank you so much for tuning in this morning. We know there's other places you can be, but you're here with us, and it means the world to us. And please, ladies and gentlemen, if you can take one bit of advice from me, other than saving the number and just considering us, you know, when disaster strikes, because we hope you really don't need our firm. When you need our firm, other than a few things with immigration, things have gone askew, and we're here to bring it back to the baseline to make sure that you get full justice. But the one thing I would like to implore everybody is, you know, use that number. You only have a week left of that free phone consultation. We've been offering it since March. Hundreds and hundreds of people have been taking advantage of it, but we would love for dozens and dozens and hundreds of you more in the next week to do so. You've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. You call our firm, you ask our question. There's no question too silly. You're wondering about your immigration status. You're wondering about your cousin's immigration status. You're wondering if you have the right lawyer handling your personal injury case. These are all questions we can answer for you for free over the phone, but all you got to do is give us a call, 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844-PPID law. Thank you so much, Squeeze, for giving me this opportunity to reach out to the community that's embraced me for years. I love you guys. I'm so happy to have been doing this amazing work. Over $20 million this year alone for case handler clients. $20 million. Life-changing money for life-changing injuries.
That's what it is, man. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Handler, he runs the personal injury at the firm. He's a partner there, and he has truly done a phenomenal job, ladies and gentlemen, at the firm for his clients. And he has been doing this for well over 15 years consistently. And it's great to have him as a friend also. Once again, make the call to the firm. The number is 844-PPID law. That's 844-PPID LAW. And do remember, it doesn't matter if you're listening to this radio station in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, overnight. Tell everyone, if they get into an accident, just call Adam Handler. Don't screw around. Don't mess around. Don't jerk yourself around or anyone. Get them to an attorney that truly works for them, or will work for them rather. That is Adam Handler. He has proven himself over and over right here on this station. Give him a call, 844-774-3529, a very hardworking young man. you know.
Not young anymore. I'm going to be 43 on Friday, Christmas Day, 43. Can you believe it?
Yes, I
I
can.
was like, oh boy. Conrad's like, oh boy. All right. I'm out of here, guys. Have a great day. Have a great show. Thank you so much. I'll take care.
I
Thank
don't know,
you.
what are we gonna talk about now? Adam's gone.
You have all the time in the world now, Conrad.
Alan, I think you got your space here, quick, before he
Ready,
comes back.
I'm ready, I'm ready and up, ready to go.
Alan, tell us about some immigration developments.
Okay,
Yes.
let's talk about new developments, old developments in terms of immigration. First of all, if you have a removal proceeding scheduled and you don't have a date yet, the government keeps pushing the date back and back and back. So right now, the latest date that you might have a removal proceeding is January 8th, 2021.
This is in New York City, right? This is only in New
Yeah.
York City.
That's right. We're talking about New York City and the 3 immigration courts in New York City. And there are 1.3 million cases pending throughout the country on these removal cases. So unfortunately, if you're one of them, January 8th, 2021 is the earliest for non-detained cases where there's no date.
Alan, let me interrupt you for a second. Number
Yes.
one,
Yes.
I also want to add, this is this delay or this postponement by the U.S. by the immigration courts basically has been going on since the pandemic. Every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, they come out with an announcement. We're pushing non-detained hearings back a couple of weeks. I mean, that's been going on now since March. So the fact that hearings are currently scheduled for January 8th doesn't mean if you're scheduled for January 9th currently that you're going to be going to court on January 9th. I highly doubt it. In fact, I'd be willing to bet Adam Handler's life on it. The fact is, you're not going anytime soon. The immigration courts, they keep postponing their dates. I doubt there are going to be any non-detained hearings in immigration court anytime soon. Maybe by April or May. The judges have been putting it all off. But my question to you, Alan, you know, with this backlog, the backlog already existed before the pandemic.
Yes.
In fact, the Trump administration's policies have been, you know, their quote unquote get tough with immigrant policies. All it's done is further increase the backlog. Now, my question to you is, how, you know, the Biden administration is coming in a few weeks, how is the new administration going to deal with cutting down on this backlog and getting these people into court and moving their cases along? You know, one of the complaints of the anti-immigrant lobby, what you want to call it that, is that, you know, these immigrants, they come here and they get their cases in court and they delay them forever if they even show up. You know, that their cases go on forever and ever. And here you've got the government, the Trump administration in particular, that has doubled, if not more, the length of time that these people are waiting for hearings. You know, I mean, we've been getting hearings, final calendar, you know, trial dates for 2023 already. I mean, the dates are going for every time we get a date, it's far years in the future. What is the new administration going to do about that?
Well, one of the things the new administration has promised to do is to pause deportations and also to reform enforcement. So I think things will be getting, when Biden comes in, things will be getting better rather than worse. I think that they'll try to reform the deportations, make the system move quicker. And I was going to talk more about what's likely to happen when Biden comes in. There's a lot of immigration things that are likely to happen. Before I get to that, if you've been listening to the radio, there are attorneys and non-attorneys who've been on promising all kinds of outlandish, crazy things. So if you hear somebody on the radio promising something that you think is a little bit funny, get in touch with PPID, because you've got to be very careful about these people who are promising all kinds of outlandish things. In addition, PPID is available to lecture, and we have been lecturing to various consulates in the city. We've lectured to the Jamaican consulate twice. So if you have a church group or a community group, and we'd be happy to come out and lecture to your group, just get in touch with us, and we're happy to come to the community and give lectures.
You know, Alan, you and I have been practicing for many years. I've been doing it 30 plus years. You've been doing it, I don't know, 70, 80 years. You know, we've seen the scams before. I know what you're talking about. You know, it's immigrants, unfortunately, are always easy prey for scammers. You know, so you'll get guys, whether on the radio or just posting a sign outside their window on their second floor walk-up storefront in Flushing or Corona or whatever, saying,
Yep.
hey, but the Biden administration is coming in, and guess what? We get your green card in a week.
Yeah.
Right? You know those scams are coming. And, you know, we have this audience now, people, beware of these promises, because yes, things are going to change. Things are going to improve. The welcome mat is once again being placed in front of the door to the United States, where the new administration, their policy towards immigration is that it's a favorable thing. They're pro-immigration, and again, that welcome mat is being put out again. But that doesn't mean you're going to walk in the door and get your green card. Hey, where have you been all this time? Here's your green card. We've been waiting to give it to you for the last 4 years. It's not the way it's going to be. Still not. Nothing is easy. All right, nothing is easy. You know, I tell my kids all the time, nothing in this life is easy unless you have to work for it. You know, that's the way it goes. So nothing is going to be given to you. Nothing is free, and particularly with immigration. That is never easy, and it is certainly never free, other than our free consultations, that is. How'd you like that, Squeeze?
I like that. I was just about to say, and even that's ending. Even that's ending, you know? So, good one. That's a very good one there, you know? So, ladies and gentlemen, what are you waiting on? You just mentioned free consultations. Would you like one? If you're watching this on Facebook, after you share with all your friends and the groups and the pages you're a part of, call this number, 844-774-3529. The most powerful immigration firm in New York City would like to extend a free phone consultation to you. But you've got to call before the end of the year, because that's when those free phone consultations end. And after that, you've got to pay. And obviously, if you retain them, the consultation pretty much will be free if you retain them. So make the call. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Are you done with your updates, Alan, before we get to the question and the top of the hour?
No, I've got a lot more, but let me do one or two, and then you can take some calls from listeners.
All right.
First of all, there have been delays in issuing receipt notices by USCIS. So if you filed an application and you didn't get a receipt notice, or your lawyer didn't get a receipt notice, CIS has announced that it's experiencing delays in issuing receipt notices for petitions and applications that have been filed. Apparently, this is caused by a significant increase in filing, combined with COVID-related capacity limitations at CIS mailroom. U.S. Postal Service is also experiencing intermittent delays in mail delivery due to limited staffing and capacity and increased holiday mail volume. So USCIS says if receipt notices should be issued within 30 days of filing. But given the delays I just mentioned, receipt notices may take as long as 6 to 8 weeks to be delivered. If you have not been issued a receipt notice within 6 weeks of filing, get in touch with PPID. That's where we can step in and find out what happened to your receipt notice. I've got a lot more, but we want to see if we take some questions. Squeeze?
Absolutely. Let's get to the top of the hour on 93.5 WVIP FM. This is where the show actually ends on the radio, but continues on Facebook. And we implore you to actually go to your Facebook account and look up the case handler, look up PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and the Seco, look up David Squeeze Annakie, and you'll find us easily. And just continue watching us, place your questions there, ladies and gentlemen, and you will find us. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Radio listeners, thank you so much. Tomorrow morning, we'll be here at 9:30 a.m. again. However, continue listening to us on Facebook, David Squeeze Annakie, and you can actually place your questions there. Do remember, PPID is a full-service law firm, ladies and gentlemen. So you heard Adam Handler on earlier, speaking about the accident cases that he has settled. You know, they did $20 million plus in 2020. And of course, you've heard the attorney speaking on immigration. Make that call, 844-774-3529. Yes.
Remember, 5 o'clock today, Channel 11. You'll be interested in a story that PPID has been working on this case for a long time. It's an interesting case. It's a sad case. 5 o'clock, Channel 11 today.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 5 p.m. today. Trust me, I'll be locked to the screen. I'll be online checking that out, okay, to see exactly how that went down, okay, because it sounds very traumatic as to what Conrad explained earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the reason why you should choose PPID. All right, let's get to some immigration questions now. Question 1, hello. We submitted an IR5 visa, child to mother, and the NVC said it was, oh, that's yesterday's question. Hold on, the day before. Yeah, no. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay, hello, everyone. Just a quick question. How long does it take to receive green cards after entering into the USA? I got my SSN in just 15 days, but still waiting for my green card.
Well, I'm assuming the person entered the United States as a permanent resident. And so he is a permanent resident. He just doesn't have the physical green card. That could take a little while. If there's really a problem and you need more than what they gave you in your passport, there are ways they're trying to get in touch with immigration, or we can help you with that. So it's going to, I would say it's going to take at least a month or two until you get the physical green card. Could be longer.
Okay. And here's one where they're asking if an attorney can help them. My mother, a U.S. citizen, form I-130 submitted to my brother who is over 21 years of old, but I'm reading exactly as I see it here, unmarried. Hopefully you can decipher this, gentlemen. His priority date is November 30th, 2015. His case was approved by the USCIS and was sent to the NVC for processing. As of now, visa bulletin has not moved for a while. It has been on July 22nd, 2015 for almost 4 months now. After speaking with the NVC yesterday, they said it was because of COVID-19. I was wondering if I can do anything to expedite this case. Can an immigration attorney help with my case?
There's nothing. That sounds like an FTP. I'm getting feedback. Is it me or?
I think it's me, but go on. You're good now.
So I'm hearing myself speak. Anyway, it sounds like an F2B case, permanent resident applying for an adult unmarried son or daughter over 21. That's an F2B category. If the priority date is not current, there's nothing you can do. It sounds like it's close to being current, but there's no way to expedite that. They're based on quotas, annual quotas that are pretty much set in stone. And until your number is called, you cannot proceed. The fact that it's been approved, the visa petition's been approved, and the file is at the National Visa Center, that's good. That's about as far as you can go. You should be processing with the National Visa Center as soon as they allow you to pay the fees and get your affidavits in and all your supporting documentation in, but there's no way to expedite beyond what I just said. So that's where you are.
We can help you process the case through the National Visa Center if you like. Get in touch.
Yeah, that's an issue. I mean, you're gonna have to deal with public charge issues as well as documentary issues. I mean, that's something we deal with on a daily basis.
What's the difference between a CR1 and the IR1? Someone asked.
CR1 is a conditional resident. IR1 is immediate relative. The difference is we're talking about a marriage case. It's a U.S. citizen applying for a spouse. CR1 is accorded in the event that the people have been married for less than 2 years on the date of the interview, on the date the case is finally approved. If they've been married for less than 2 years, the spouse, the beneficiary, gets CR status, conditional resident status. Means after 2 years, having the green card, they have to apply again to show that the marriage is still viable, they're still together. IR1 is for the same situation, U.S. citizen married to a spouse, applying for a spouse, but they've been married for more than 2 years on the date of the interview, and they therefore get permanent residence. They don't have to apply again. That's the difference. Can't hear you, Squeeze.
Final question here. I am the principal applicant of F3 category, and all of our documents are accepted, but NVC asked again for another sponsor. How long will we wait to be DQ?
F3 is a third preference case, meaning the U.S. citizen has applied for a married son or daughter, and he's the principal applicant. So he's the son or daughter that's over 21 of that U.S. citizen parent. I have no answer to that question because I don't know what did they submit. Did they find the joint sponsor? If they did, submitted all the documents, assuming the priority date is current, could be a couple of months before they're scheduled. But, big but here, there is still a visa ban in place until December 31st currently. So if that ban is extended by our current president, I mean, if the president, unfortunately, if he finds time between issuing pardons and all the other ones, and fomenting military coups and so on, if he finds time between all of those important activities, he might extend that ban. Hopefully he'll be too busy giving out pardons and doing all the other stuff that he's been doing that he'll forget about the travel ban and not extend it, because if the president doesn't take any action, the ban expires. My guess, though, and I've said this before, he's going to extend the ban for another 6 months and force Biden to make a decision on whether to end it or let it expire at that time. But short answer, third preference category, F3, subject to the travel ban. So even if everything's in order, they can't complete the case until a travel ban is lifted.
There you have it. 844-774-3529. Make that call. Get that consultation in with the firm. Hire them. Let them handle your case. 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPIDLAW. We'll let the General, Alan E.K., tail it off with his final updates on immigration. Do remember that we'll be here tomorrow morning again at 9:30 a.m., Christmas Eve. Alan.
Yep. Okay. Some good news. Governor Cuomo has signed something called the Protect Our Courts Act. And this will be protecting people who are going to court, state courts, and have been worrying about ICE would grab them in the courthouse, on the way to the courthouse, leaving the courthouse. This Protect Our Courts Act will protect you when you have a court proceeding and protect you from ICE grabbing you. Okay, next. A federal court judge has put out a decision which will force USCIS to accept new Daca applications. So if you qualify for Daca, find a lawyer and apply now, because the judge's decision will not last forever. To qualify for Daca, you have to be born on or after June 15th, 81, come to the U.S. before the age of 16, in the U.S. on January 15, 2012, and still be here. No proper immigration status as of June 15, 2012. Be a high school graduate, enroll in high school, have a GED, enroll in the GED program, and no significant criminal record. So until further.
By the way, Alan, if I could just interrupt you for a second about Daca, that's good you mentioned that. Yesterday, we had a gentleman come into our office who had applied for Daca back in 2015 and was denied. I don't recall if he did it himself or he had someone helping him to do it, but the fact is he had a criminal issue, and the application ended up being denied back in, again, 14 or 15. He let it go. That was the end of it. But he heard us on this show, and he heard us, I guess, last week or in the past couple of weeks talking about Daca, came into the office with his paperwork. Fact is, he's qualified. Yes, he had a criminal issue, but it should not disqualify him from eligibility. So we signed him up yesterday. He came in, and we're about to put his application in. Again, he applied before, but it's as if he never applied because the application was denied. So he is actually a first-time applicant, which, according to the court case that I know you're referring to, the USCIS is now required by recent court order to accept first-time applications, which this person is one, and now he will be submitting his application, and I'm very optimistic it's going to be approved. So if anyone out there has had situations like this where you applied for Daca, or you have friends or family that have applied for Daca and got denied, you have a chance to redo it if you're eligible. So it's certainly worth a shot. Daca is not the law. Daca is based on a presidential executive order, but Biden is not an enemy of Daca as the Trump administration has been. Daca is at least here for the next 4 years, at the very least. Hopefully it'll become law at some point during that period of time, but it is now here, it is back, it's not going anywhere. So at the very least, if you think you're eligible, or had filed before and been denied for whatever reason, it's certainly worth a shot in trying it again. I'm sorry, Alan, go ahead.
In addition, USCIS is now accepting travel permits for applications for people who already have DACA. This can be very useful because a lot of DACA people haven't seen their family at home since they were little kids. So that's very good news. And also, the DACA work permits were previously issued for a year at a time. Now the judge has said that they should be issued for 2 years at a time, which is sort of good news. So DACA is loosening up. There is a federal court case pending in Texas, which might hurt DACA, but we're hoping that that judge in Texas, who's not a friendly judge, will leave DACA alone. Now, also, we talked about naturalization, and there's a new naturalization test for people who filed on December 1st, 2020 or after. This new naturalization test is really designed to discourage and deny citizenship for people. So if you filed December 1st, 2020 or after, you're going to have this new naturalization test. We're hoping that the Biden administration will do away with that test, but it's going to take some time because they have a lot of things to do. So that test is going to be there for a while. However, also, if you're 65 years or older and you've been a permanent resident for 20 years or more, there's a special shortened, easier test for you people 65 years or older. And we'll get you a copy of that test if you'd like. So naturalization is important, and the Biden administration wants to make it easier to become a citizen, not more difficult, as was the case in the Trump administration. Now, we talked about DACA, we talked about Protect Our Courts Act. Let's just talk one more thing about what we're likely to see in the Biden administration. And the Biden administration has 5 priorities when they come into power. 1 is climate, 2 is COVID, 3 is healthcare, 4 is racial issues, and immigration is number 5. So don't expect immigration things to happen immediately, but at least it's one of the 5 priorities of the Biden administration. One of the things they're going to do is, as I mentioned before, to kind of pause deportation and put in enforcement reforms. They're going to repeal the Muslim African bans, and they're going to repeal the public charge rule. This is all going to take some time. And also detention issues are going to be dealt with. And as the case we talked about, that's going to be on television today. So we're expecting a lot of good things from the Biden administration. The new incoming head of the Department of Homeland Security, Ali Mayorkas, is a lawyer. He was an immigrant himself. He knows what it's like to come to the United States from another country. I've met him. We're expecting really great things. He has to be confirmed by the Senate, but hopefully the Senate will confirm him, and Ali Mayorkas will be the new head of the Department of Homeland Security. So that's some of the updates on what's going on. We've got a lot more, but we don't have a lot of time. But Squeeze, we have more time?
We always have time for you, Alan. I got to jump off in a second, though, but if you've got something you want to touch on before we go, I'm good with that.
No, we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Talking only about immigration. Adam won't be there, so if you missed anything today or have any other questions, we'll be available. Don't forget to watch Channel 11 at 5 o'clock to see the story about this case we've been working on for a long, long time, a very sad case. The most recent thing is, after bouncing this guy around all over the place, they now moved him to New Jersey, which is really good. Maybe his family will be able to see him because they haven't been able to see him since he was arrested and shipped down to Louisiana. And maybe the courts in this area will be more friendly than the courts down in Louisiana. So that program is Channel 11, 5 o'clock, and we'll keep you informed after that about what's going on with that case.
Thank you so much. Alan E.K., the general, an attorney at the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Conrad Pollack, thank you also so much for being here. Thanks to everybody for tuning in and watching the show, listening to the show, supporting the show. We do appreciate it. With that said, We say prior results do not guarantee similar outcome, but look out for us tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Make sure you call PPID at 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. Have yourself an amazing day. See you tomorrow morning, Christmas Eve.